you feel like, in the sense of not being able to own a physical copy of a game? Is it really that big of a deal now?
I mean, as a digital only console owner, I mean, it wasn't like it was
It
going
can make you
to
know
matter.
never mind, huh?
Yeah, it wasn't like it was gonna matter to me anyways, because I've been digital only ever since I've been in new gen, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. Um, but I mean, I get it. I thought they said that it would be eventually available or something like that. I'm not sure, but if it's not, I mean, it's just kind of where we are. I mean, maybe they're trying to create a crazy market for physical disc again, you know what I'm saying? Just to think if you're one of the few people that has a physical, I'm telling you, everything will probably go back to like how it was where physical is like gold now because we're just not doing physical
Yeah,
copies.
so it's saying that at this moment, hold on. Let me see, just so y'all can see what I'm talking about. So it says
Like,
that Grand Theft Auto 6 will launch as a digital only title when it drops, with no physical disc version planned for launch or the months following. So
mm,
you want to know, this is crazy. So, and being a part of the Unk Squad, whatever you want to call it, bro, this,
yeah,
I it doesn't bother me now, but I had a crazy situation that happened to me. Okay. Me and my family, we love playing video games as a family. So we always try to get, you know what I'm saying? New games, different things like that. We're always on the hunt. So this particular time, one of the things that we like to do is we love to play Just Dance. So this particular time we go and we purchase online the newest Just Dance that just came out. So we go, we purchased it online for pickup, right? So we go, we pick up the game, we get all the way to the house, we open it up, and it's nothing in the box. Nothing, bro. Just a booklet. No, this was for the
you
Switch. So no
said you
cartridge,
said this was
no nothing.
GameStop.
No. This was Target.
Oh, Target. My bad. My bad. My
This
bad.
was
See,
Target.
I'm used to GameStop hoeing niggas. So you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying.
No,
I
so
just
this
wanted
was,
to throw. I just wanted to throw them out there.
yeah, you didn't know that.
They,
You didn't
they
want to
always
know.
on some funny. They always on some funny shit for real.
Yeah, bro. So look, so I'm going out to Target at this moment. Hold on, let me switch these and see. There we go. I go out to Target at this moment, bro. We go and pick up the game. We get all the way to the house, no cartridge in the box. So now I'm tripping out, right? I'm like, man, how they gonna do this? And the first thing you start doing when you get our age, you be like, man, it's them kids, man. They got these kids working at these places. They don't care like we cared
Yeah,
when we had our
yeah.
jobs. Like, that's the way we acted. So we go all the way back up there, bro. We drive all the way back up there to Target, and they're looking at us like we done did something wrong. And they're like, I'm telling them, I'm like, man, I got this game. It ain't got no cartridge in it. Like, I've always bought games, and they got some kind of this, some kind of, there ain't nothing in here. Like, I mean, it was sealed like it was, it wasn't used. So we go, and they're like, sir, if you open this book, there's a code to download your game in it. And like, I didn't
Uh,
realize, bro, like, I didn't realize that we had gotten to that moment, that we wound up getting into a situation where now games are like that. And so now I'm seeing that GTA 6 is only going to be a digital download. Like, you made us wait this long, as maybe they'll start releasing them as collector's items, right? Because people who collect things all the time, I'm sure there's going to be some kind of a Funko Pop for GTA 6 or something like that. There's got to be. But when we talk about physical copies and owning physical, I think it sucks that they're kind of taking away that ownership from us. Now, I as well am a part of the digital console mafia. Okay. Um, I do buy the ones that have the disc space for the bigger room, for the bigger memory. But I do love the convenience of not having to get out of my house and being able to go and download my games straight off. I ain't got to wait on nothing, bro. I could buy it when I'm at work and it's ready for me by the time I get off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, those conveniences of that is dope, but you should give the people the option, man. I mean, don't you think so? You should give the people the option to be able to own the game, man. Don't just say only digital only, man.
yeah. I mean, what do you really own unless it's in your hand, unless you can physically grab it? Like, do you really have your money in your bank account unless you have land, like physical land? I remember Nick
Yeah,
Cannon talking about this.
yeah,
Like, you know
right.
what I'm saying? Like, Like, give me the land. Like, the money in my bank account that can freeze, or the bank could just take my money out my bank account whenever, or they
Bro,
lose it, or
that's
whatever happens.
exactly. That's my point, bro.
You know what I'm
What if the
saying? Like,
servers go down and GTA 6 is wiped,
bro,
bro? What if
they can literally take your game away from you, bro.
they can, bro?
And they've already done things like that
Yeah.
for
Yes,
digital
they have.
owners on certain
Yes.
games, bro. I
Yes,
was
they
trying to
have.
play a game. I was trying to play a game the other day that I thought I had downloaded on my system because I got the Game Pass. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Xbox.
yeah.
Us Xbox users. We got the Game
Yeah.
Pass. So
Game
I
Pass
figured
is
I'm about
better
to.
than a PlayStation Store. I'm gonna get that.
Man,
It is better than a
hey
PlayStation
man,
Store. But go ahead, bro.
it
Go
is.
ahead.
But
Go
I'm
ahead.
thinking I'm about to hop on a game, and then it's like you don't have this game no more because I downloaded it for free, but it's just talking about you don't have it anymore. You got to go and purchase. I'm like, well, y'all let me download this whole? I didn't buy it. Why you was?
Hey,
Bro,
real
I
talk.
was so mad, bro.
No, that does piss me off. I remember I had Game Pass, bro, and I downloaded 2K because I had already had it bought for the P5, but I wanted up getting the Xbox and I downloaded it because it was free. It was like, man, I can have 2K in both spots, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Bro, but I had it for 2 months. Didn't go through the story or nothing because I'm like, man, I got the game. I can go through the story later. Bro, after 2 months, they removed it from the store and told me I had to buy it, bro. I was so pissed. And yes,
Bro,
that does make me angry. When we talk about GTA 6, as you have came in, they have said that GTA 6 will release no physical copies. It is going to be all digital. And I don't know if I should be upset at the fact that it's only going to be digital, that they are moving into this world, that games are moving into this world, that it's, you don't have ownership of it no more. Man, I used to like having a shelf full of games, bro, and you just look at it, even though you didn't play them all, bro, you just looked at them.
Nah,
What
bro,
I'm
the
saying?
disc
Just like,
book.
come on.
you
The
had a
disc
whole
book,
Yeah,
man.
you had
Straight
a
to the
whole
disc
this
book,
book.
man.
Yeah.
yeah.
Ooh,
Everything now is subscription based. I feel like that's the whole idea
yeah.
behind no physical copies. Like, if
I
you don't
mean,
pay that subscription, you don't pay, you don't play. That's where we going with this.
you're right. You're right. But we think about subscription services like an Apple Music and a Spotify. The convenience of being able to get, bro, if you don't ever want to miss a drop from anybody, you never have to, because it literally is right there in the palm of your hand. When you get a second, you can look up any artist, see if they've dropped or see whatever new is dropped, and you can listen to it in that moment. Bro, the convenience of that, bro, you cannot go to the CD store, the record store, whatever the hell they calling them now, and get every album and be plugged into everything. Like you just can't, bro. So, like you said, the whole game is in the digital, and I think it works out for them. They reach more people. You talk about kids, and some of these kids have bank accounts before they even have a license to drive, or have money before they even have keys to a car. So you mean to tell me that I can get that kid to buy the game that they want immediately from their room the second it drops, rather than having to have mom get off of work and having to have mom take them out here and having to have mom grab it? You know what I'm saying? And then the same thing
It's
goes
the
for music.
convenience.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's the convenience.
it is the
But I
convenience, man. But
mean,
it is what it is, man. I don't think it's
I
that deep of
mean,
a
that's
discussion,
why that
man.
that's why I hope y'all understand how crazy 40 damn million albums is in the 1980s with Michael Jackson, like going out having to buy like physical copies,
Having that many people buy. I
like
mean, I'm sure his label bought, couple thousand here or there. That they do that, and then you kind of give them out at contests, radio shows, whatever the case is. Like I'm sure that will, but I mean, we only accounting for a couple thousand, even if you were saying a couple 100,000. But go ahead, continue.
no, I mean, yeah, I mean, any case like those type of numbers, bro, in that time is just like insane, and that's why that's the highest selling album of all time, most successful album of all time. Like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that I just thought about that, in the days of having to buy physical, like,
Over with
you know what
that.
I'm saying? People are just not doing that anymore, coming out in droves and buying physical. But I feel like the market will start changing where, people will start to want to have physical possessions, and it's going to be like gold eventually. You know what I'm saying? Not
Yes.
necessarily saying like Grand Theft Auto 6, hell, Grand Theft Auto 6 may damn near be like gold physical. But
Yeah, bro.
but yeah,
Yeah.
anything else? I don't know if it'll quite turn into that, but you will have resemblance of that physical.
Well, there's already a resurgence within the music industry where a lot of artists still release LPs, like they still release physical, records. You know what I'm saying? And that's more or less a trend. Some of them do it for special promos, or hey, you get this, you also get this. And I don't even know if half these people actually own a record player, but you can actually find them, the little ones or whatever the case is, the little cheap ones, whatever, and you can still play these. But these people are keeping hype to the music, bro. I've seen Bruno Mars have LPs, Taylor Swift have LPs, Tyler the Creator have LPs, Lecrae has had LPs. Like, this is how everything is kind of coming back, but it's more, like you said, it's more coveted. It's more like having it as go. Like, this is special. Like, when I sit and I play this at the crib, like I'm there. It's a different experience. And not just that, but also, to be able to have it, to be able to frame it, to be able to put it on, to be able to feel like that I truly have a moment in time, that I truly have a piece of history. So I think that's why a lot of them are doing that. But welcome to the Cruise Hip Hop Corner, everybody. I hope y'all enjoyed that intro. To my right, left, whatever way y'all looking, it's my bro Chris in the building, looking straight like a masterpiece, looking like Chris Masters.
No, he look like Randy Orton, bro.
Chris Master. Oh,
Randy Orton when he popped back up with the skull tattoos on his sleeves.
Oh, yeah.
When he came back,
bro, like Randy Orton got some of the most iconic tattoos in WWE. His double skull sleeve is just like, as a kid, I always saw that.
It's not more iconic than the Brahma Bull, bro. It's not a more iconic tattoo than the Brahma Bull.
No, I'm just saying,
one piece, bro, compared to a sleeve. Where you
can't
compare it
to. And then not just that, he got the Brahma Bull covered. You know what I'm saying?
Bro. He didn't like that. He didn't like that, but that's a staple, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know. Kevin Owens is T-Rex. Kevin Owens is T-Rex is pretty cool.
Yeah, his tattoo. I mean, all the Usos, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
All the Usos, like,
yeah, it's crazy. They tattoos do be going crazy. But to the top right or to y'all top left, however y'all looking at this, it is the one and only our cousin Dede in the building. Yes, sir. Hey, I've been meaning to ask you, bro. How was that Don Toliver concert, bro? I hate that I couldn't go. Man, tell me, bro. Let me relive this concert through your eyes, bro. Come on.
I just want to say
it looked
this.
like a movie, bro. Just looking at some of the stuff that you was posting, bro. It looked like a movie, bro.
We thinking about doing it again. That's how real it was the first time, the first go around. We thinking about going to a North Carolina show. Me and my sister was just talking about that. Yeah, we was just talking about that. All I need is for her to agree, and we pretty much gonna go with it. I'm already set in my mind that I'm gonna work the overtime just so I can pay for the travel and everything that come with that.
Bro,
but yeah, it was so crazy. I'm talking about best concert I ever been to in my life. Ever.
I hate that I missed out on that, bro.
Hey, you still can go. If you go to like a Texas show, you can still go because he has a leg 2 tour coming up right now. So that's about to start real soon. So between July and August, those shows will be starting. So you might want to look into that. You might want to look into this.
I don't know, bro. I'm saving my coins, bro.
I'm trying
to catch this Chris Brown and this Usher though.
You really going to
it? Yeah, bro.
It's already started.
Yeah, I know. They just kicked it off this weekend.
So you have to hurry up and get them tickets, man.
Yeah, bro.
The R&B tour.
Yeah, man.
What city you think about?
Come on, bro. I think somewhere in Texas, bro. I think they got in Houston, somewhere around Dallas, something like that, bro. Because they're not coming to Oklahoma.
I was just wondering which you could catch a Kansas or Missouri. They'll go to Kansas, Missouri before they come to Oklahoma. That's what's sad about a lot of these tours.
And my thing is, with us having like a really decent, venue, bro. Like, I don't know why more bigger artists, when they're doing these crazy tours like this, do they not come? I mean, the R&B tour wouldn't be able to fit everybody that would want to come to Oklahoma City, to Oklahoma show. I get it. I do get it. Even the Paycom Arena wouldn't be able to hold, because the Paycom Arena is smaller than the BOK Center.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's what's crazy.
it's smaller by about 1,000 seats. So I mean, and people just don't come by here. When we went to the New Edition tour, they didn't have a stop in Tulsa, but they had a stop in Oklahoma City. So I think it has a lot to do with the market. You know what I'm saying?
It kind of just depends. I don't think you see a lot of hip hop artists come to Tulsa directly. I think a lot of them do OKC shows.
They do.
So you see them go to a lot of OKC shows, but bro, we get in Tulsa. Like I feel like we get a lot of like country art, Garth Brooks and stuff like that.
A lot of country artists, a lot of I won't say real crazy rock groups, but like the country rock, like Rascal Flatts and different things like that. Yeah, we do, bro. Like Oklahoma, I mean Tulsa for that.
I think artists look at their demographic, like where the biggest group of support percentage is before they go on tour. I think they announce it. I mean, I'm
sure that would be the smart thing, but my thing is Los Angeles ain't never left out, or places around Los Angeles are never left out. Atlanta, Georgia is never left out, or places around Atlanta, Georgia. You know, Philly and Philadelphia, I mean, is big population wise, but I mean, area wise, it's not that crazy. You know, you could say Texas and California, like those are very big areas of land, you know what I'm saying? But New York obviously will never get missed. Chicago will never get missed. Like, you know, those places. I just hate that we stay in a place where, you know, we do get Travis Scott has been here, bro. 21 Savage, I think, has been here. Wayne has been here. You know, there's been a lot of big hip hop.
T.I. done tried a couple times.
Don't bring that up, bro.
We're not gonna talk about that. Up, bro. Yeah, I was actually about to try to go catch him in Charlotte, but that didn't work out this month. So
we
ain't gonna talk about that because I definitely. I mean, I'm gonna always try to go see him. I'm gonna always go try to see him. He's on my bucket list of concerts that I must see, you know, must attend. So,
bro, you still ain't seen him? That's crazy.
Because he doesn't tour. He doesn't tour that much. He doesn't tour much at all. Like even now, like it's about to probably be the last time in a long time. Like now that he's dropping his last album. So,
bro, he's still Hustle Gang still a thing, bro.
Man, Grand Hustle is always a thing. It's just
man.
As a collective, he doesn't bring them all together as a collective as much anymore as he did in the early 2010s.
I gotta see. I got my Hustle Gang shirt around here somewhere, bro.
He said it's around here somewhere,
bro. It is, bro. I bought a real one because Day was buying all the Hustle Gang shirts back in the day. So I bought one.
Man.
He bought all the. So I went to Dillard's, bro. I bought one Hustle Gang shirt, bro. That was the
only. Got it on right now.
I
had a few people wearing this, I had a few people wearing this.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. You was influencing a whole generation, bro. When nobody
had a few people, man.
Yeah, bro. You made everybody jump on that Hustle Gang tip. I ain't even go. Hey, I ain't going.
Man, it's a movement, man. If you really pay attention, it's really a movement. If you pay attention to everybody signed to the label, bro.
Yeah.
It's Travis Scott used to be Hustle Gang. Trey the Truth, Dro, who else? Iggy Azalea. Even though people be joking about it, bro. It's a lot of people, bro. That was once and is still Grand Hustle Gang, man. So come on now,
man. I'm just saying. Who is it? Tokyo.
Tokyo Jets.
I really like Tokyo Jets, man.
B.O.B. was Hustle Gang.
You know, oh man, he flew off. B.O.B. took off, bro.
Like I said, Travis Scott was the biggest artist.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't know that, so I never tied Travis. What about Young LA? You know, he was Hustle Gang. You ain't.
Man, T.I. said
Young LA.
He said, T.I., hey, listen to this song called Everybody on the Hustle Gang mixtape. T.I. said, don't ask me. Bro. He said, don't ask me nothing about Young LA. I don't know the nigga that drove dog. Man, you heard that? Hey, look, Jay, look, you know.
Yeah.
Because I remember I put you on that. I forgot.
That was my song too, nigga. That was you just unlocked the memory. I'm gonna have to listen to that when I get off the stream.
Man, I don't stop listening to that. I listen to that every time. Every time I feel motivated to really hustle and get my grind up, that's what I go back and listen to. I go back and I get the clothes and I put it back on and it put me back in that. It put me back in that mindset like it's 2012.
Yeah. So you listen to the album, man. So is he still in his bag? Does he still got it? You know what I'm saying? I do like Mr. Him is here. That shit is crazy.
Yes, there are two more songs. Yeah, there's two
how
more
to
songs. I'm gonna have to tell y'all to go listen to it. And it's one with The Dream, and it's another with Anderson .Paak. Those are the two songs that are the highlight of the whole album outside of the singles that he already dropped before the album.
Yeah, but the album is crazy. Like it's worth it.
It's definitely cinematic. T.I. is the reason I'm a big fan of him and everything he's always done is because if you listen to his album top to bottom, every piece of work he's dropped, it's cinematic. It's cinematography. It's like it reminds me of the time of when he came out of ATL and he dropped that I forgot which album came out with that. I think Urban Legend came out with ATL the movie. And What You Know About That was on there. So it was like when you hear songs like that, it just reminds you of like, man, it's like you thinking of a movie visually when you listen to the album. You can think of like movie scenes of just T.I. rapping about the same thing, like what everybody make jokes about as far as Pusha T and Jay-Z of like, you don't sell crack anymore, you should stop rapping about it. That's what they would tell. That's what you would think people would tell T.I. That's what you think people would tell T.I.
Right.
He's talking more than that.
But people love also, the story.
So.
When T.I. came out, T.I. always has been a storyteller. Every time that I have listened to a T.I. record, I always visualize. He makes you visualize because he just paints such a vivid picture. And then when he releases his music videos, he's so animated and really like you don't believe, oh, Hype Williams is behind the camera and you know what I'm saying? They yelling cut. Like you really feel like this is the day in the life of T.I. in this moment. Like all these things are happening in this moment. And that's just, bro, he is really, really great at that and arguably probably one of the best storytellers in hip hop. But I mean, that's when you talk about Atlanta, like all of them, bro, they all are real storytellers when you talk about their music, man. But I think it's dope, bro. You said somebody from who from Hustle Gang was on the record?
Dro was the only one.
Sober Dro, bro.
He was on 2 records.
Sober Dro is crazy. I didn't know how Sober Dro was gonna be, bro. He nice, bro.
He been snapping. Snapping.
Yeah, he
going
nice,
crazy.
Bro. But you know, when we're talking about
that's Jalil's boy. That's
Hey, Dro, hey, I done already told him, bro. Like people used to, bro. I had Dro top 5. Like people used to laugh.
I do too, and I get it,
bro. Dro, like it's the way
Dro is like that,
bro. The way that Dro put words together, bro, is insane, bro. Matter of fact, I got a record.
Young Dro was that random creative player, like just like, you know what I'm saying? Like just started wrecking, like back in the day when he came through with, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, I feel like his link with Tip was just like a tad bit later, if I'm not mistaken. But Dro was like a side creative player, bro, that was just coming through, just wrecking stuff, bro. Like, and then he sounded well educated too, like this hood dude that was just like.
Hey, I used to say that Young Dro was on. You could tell that he went to college because of the.
But what's crazy is a lot of stuff. It was drug influence. Like a lot of those raps back then in the early 2000s that we know him for was just like drug influence. So like you said, Jay, just speaking to that part where he's sober again, man, and showing that he's still holding his weight, he's still a household name. He never fell off in the class. Some people that may have considered falling off.
You want to know that's crazy that you say that, bro? Because I definitely, like that was my thing. I'm happy he got sober. I'm happy that he was able to find that and attack what was going on. You know what I'm saying? And able to come out of that. Like I'm never going to be like, damn, man, you should have stayed. But it was the same thing that we thought with him, right? Eminem, you are so crazy. You know what I'm saying? The way you put words together and twist things, like we know that the drugs are helping. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. Nobody's mad at their drug abuse in that aspect.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks, but
they feeding into it. If anything, they was feeding into it.
Big facts. So they feeding into it. So now I'm thinking like, man, you know, what is it gonna be? But he came out better than ever, and he's still considered one of the GOATs. That was the same thought I had whenever they said that Dro was getting sober. I was like, man, You know, I like fun Dro. I like, you know, cocky Dro. I like Dro that really feel like nobody can out rap him. Like, what is that going to be when he becomes up, bro? And he didn't disappoint.
And can you do me a favor? Can you pull up the pic of Young Dro's XXL freshman class?
Yeah, I got you.
That'll help segue into our next, you know.
Yeah.
So that way we can see who he came in the game with and who's still relevant
what year,
in that class.
What year would that have been? Young Dro freshman class.
Let me see.
Man.
What year is this?
Because that topic just went viral not too long ago, talking about how certain artists from that class is only still relevant.
Let me see.
There's only so few relevant.
Bro, I can't find out what year this is. That is insane. Hold on. And I hate that.
Man,
oh, 07. Crazy. It was 07. It was 07. It was 07. So here is the stuff right here, bro. That's it. Actually,
now who is all on the cover?
Let me do this.
Let
me change
That's
this.
what I'm about to say.
That's when everybody was matching too. They had everybody with the same outfit on.
Everybody had on all white.
That's crazy.
That's crazy, man.
There we go. All right, so who we got? Not that. Reddit. Who's on here? Oh, Plies? Plies,
Boosie.
Yeah. Pap is on here. Who else is on here? Sagon, Rich Boy. Yeah, Rich Boy selling. Yeah.
I just wanted that.
Hey, Gorilla Zoe went triple platinum in the hood though. So
bro, that's loaded. That's a loaded.
Ooh, Crooked Eye as well. Yeah.
That's a loaded year.
So what did you say they were saying?
How many guys how many of these guys truly crossed over to mainstream and were able to hold their own career, like, you know, never fell off? Like, they crossed over. They weren't only considered underground, but they kind of crossed over to the mainstream and were able to stay relevant for over however long ago that was. When you say 2007 till today,
I'll say Boosie, because he found a way to stay relevant. You know, Instagram definitely helped out a lot. So definitely Boosie managed to stay relevant. I'll say Papoose, but not because of his music, unfortunately. The whole Remy Ma situation and being on Love and Hip Hop and different things like that. But it did, in fact, keep him relevant. Dro is a weird case. Dro is in the public now, a lot more now. But Dro had his moments. He'll pop out and he'll be there for a little bit. Like, you'll be like, Dro back. And then he'll disappear again. You know what I'm saying? Then he'll pop back out. And he's like, oh yeah, Dro back. And then he'll disappear again. So he did pop mainstream. If that's the question, he definitely popped mainstream. But Dro kind of had his moments up and down. Plies, same thing as Papoose. Stayed relevant, but not for his music.
I don't know, bro.
More so like
Plies.
He'll really be more with social media.
Bro, in 2020, Plies started dropping some bangers again. Ran off on the plug twice. What else did he drop? Like two more. He dropped like two more bangers. Don't get bro. Plies came back out.
Hey,
Plies did come back, but we got mainstream. Hold on. We gotta say mainstream. Like, did he chart with these songs though?
Bro, I want to say they did. That
doesn't really matter in today's time whether or not you chart. I mean, if you can.
I mean, it does in the aspect of mainstream.
He went like 3 for 3. Bro, I know y'all remember this. She is my bro. What's up? Bro, come on now. Come on now.
That's social media.
Bro.
But hold on.
Come on. She is my bro.
But do you know what you're saying though? Hold on. Again, this is 07 to 2020, and I don't think that song was released in 2020. I think that might have been 2018 or something like that. But regardless, he had social media is what most people remember him, like know him from at this moment. That and being Kirk Franklin's evil twin. Like those two
Man.
things are what they more or less know Plies for. Not his music. Yes, he got bangers on bangers. But when we talk
Hey, they
about
throwing him in the versus ring right now. They saying he should go do the verses with Webby
against
or
who?
something.
With Webby?
Who got? Hey,
all right.
you gotta have.
I mean,
you gotta have Boosie versus Webby.
Yeah, you do.
Nah, that's a tag team. They gotta go against somebody. I want to see Boosie and Webby go against somebody else.
I'm trying to think who else. Who else? Rich Boy wasn't selling nothing, so he didn't. Lupe Fiasco. He had a couple records blow up, and then he went back to a underground backpack rapper.
Now he catch him at your local fair or Juneteenth performance.
Yeah, facts, bro. I think that fair money is good though. I think they be cleaning up on that fair money. I
ain't never seen nobody be like, man, Lupe Fiasco was coming to Tulsa State Fair. I gotta go. He done came down like 3 times in the last 5 years, and then nobody said they gotta go.
I don't think.
If you can obviously get a bag, like still go get a bag. So anybody that can be booked at a state fair, I mean, shouts out to it. But to Day-Day's credit and to Day-Day's point, what are most of these artists that we're seeing at these state fairs? A lot of them are your well-established, albeit legends. You know what I'm saying?
It'll be him and Genuine.
Yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Your Drew Hills of the world, like, you know what I'm saying?
The last time I stopped for a performance at the fair was to see Newsboys, and that was just because that was right when Guys Not
This man said Newsboys. The last time I did see Drew Hill.
You said what? The last time what?
I said I saw Drew Hill and Genuine at the state fair, but that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of these people are like people that have been in the entertainment industry for years, and
didn't Mario come to the fair? Raven Simone came to the fair, bro. You better put some respect on the people.
Raven Simone is crazy because what was she singing? What was Raven Simone singing by herself?
She was singing That's So Raven theme song.
Bro, that's what Orlando Brown did. She was singing We Are the Boys in Motion.
Hey, I don't know, bro.
Gotta
have you heard
back?
Hold on, wait a minute, bro. Have you heard 1K Fuse Boys in Motion, bro?
Nah, I gotta go.
That's hard. That's actually hard, bro.
That's crazy. Hey, bro.
Hey, we talking about Fuse Skylark too. Hey, 1K got some classic references when it comes to TV. Like Fuse Skylark had me. They had me sold. He came.
That joint hard.
That thing is crazy. But yeah, bro. So I mean, when we're looking at this, I mean, none of them really have. Like I said, Boosie probably really the only one, and Plies, but Plies not because of his music. And like I said, Papoose not because of his music. Which sucks. And outside of that, bro, like I said, Gorilla Zoe went triple platinum in the hood. Real talk. And Lupe Fiasco back. Yeah, bro. None of them. I mean, Dro would probably. It's Boosie, bro. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Boosie is the most relevant rapper on this XXL Freshman list.
And you talk Boosie hasn't had a radio hit in at least 5 years.
That's crazy.
At least 5.
I honestly, you talking about rapping wise or just relevancy? Because I would put
relevancy.
I would put Plies in this. Okay, I'm putting Plies up there with Boosie easily.
I would too. Because you made a good point. Ran off on a plug twice.
I mean, and not just that. If we get into social media too. Plies is one of the most he's one of the most relevant people on social media. Like and to be real, he was one of the first rappers to break on Instagram like that. Like if we keeping it a buck, like he started this Instagram videos and posting 10 years ago and was making himself relevant on Instagram 10 years ago and is still relevant to this day. So I mean, I would put Plies with Boosie easily in terms of relevancy and able to maintain relevancy till this day. You still hear and know about Plies. You'll see some video pop up somewhere every night, just like you see a Boosie video pop up every now and then. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's the same thing. Boosie was just able to maintain his musical career, I feel like, for a longer structure of time, because I just feel like that's something that he was really, really passionate about and focusing on purposely. And he still has a strong core audience that'll come out in droves and see him. Plies still has a strong core audience that'll come out in droves and see him as well. But I think he's more relevant on the social media side for sure.
Yeah. So I just think that's crazy, bro. Because whenever you go to what is that? Is that 2015? What year was Yachty in there? 2016? What year was that?
16 or 15. I want to say 16.
But
16?
Yeah, it's 16. So when you think about 2016, you know, just thinking about that 2007 class, right? So now we go to 2016 and look at who we have here and those that are still relevant to this day. Right? Hold on. I ain't even switch it. Look at me. I'm talking to y'all and I ain't even got it on there. Day. You always be laughing at me when I be doing that, bro.
Man, I'd have time to.
I ain't got my contacts in, so I had to like look. I'm like,
hey, this is funny, but hold on. Here we go. Right here. So whenever we look at this class, right here.
They have no misses. Everybody's still stars.
Cardi B, still relevant. Anderson .Paak still relevant.
You mean Playboy? Cardi?
I mean Playboy. My bad. Playboy Cardi. My fault.
Bro, I was like, Cardi B was on there.
I'm like, I don't even see Cardi. I don't even see Cardi.
Playboy Cardi for sure. I listen to Playboy Cardi every day.
Playboy Cardi, Lil Uzi Vert. You know what I'm saying? Yachty. Lil Dicky could have had a real rap career, but he wanted
Lil Dicky an actor now. He in a whole other lane. He in film. He in film and fashion.
He was still on there.
Savage.
Rockstar.
Come on. Dave East is a whole podcaster now.
Nah, Dave East still got hits. He in my top 10 right now. Don't miss.
Dave East nice. But
Dave East don't miss. Yeah.
So you look at what happened with the 2007 freshman class. What did they do differently? How was it that this 2016 class, the ones that actually, Chris, we was talking about this, the ones that actually got talked about, right? Because they were ushering in the mumble rap, right? Yeah. How was it that they were able to break the mold? I got y'all. I know my camera dropped, but how was that able to happen?
Like you said, back then, I remember when this particular freshman list went viral, and like me and you was talking about, it kind of went viral for the wrong reasons because people felt like that the freestyles weren't up to par as to what we were used to in the past. And also it was the hyping up in the background while the others were rapping. And so not a lot of people thought that a good majority of those rappers were going to still be relevant to this day. And it's actually incredible that this is one of the most iconic double XL freshman lists when we talk about the heavy hitters that are still relevant to this day, and you usually don't see that on a list. So credit to them. And like Jay said, at this point in time, they were the ushering in of this new age rap, kind of where rap was going to, the colorful hair, the face tattoos, and, the quote unquote mumble rap and things like that. A lot of people felt like this is where hip hop was going, and a lot of people were upset about it. But credit to them. I mean, when we think about this list, 21 Savage still relevant, Kodak Black still relevant, Lil Yachty still relevant, Lil Uzi Vert still relevant. A lot of these people are still relevant, and you see them in important circles still till this day. And music wise too. Music wise, Lil Uzi Vert is still like that. 21 Savage. If you're not gonna, if you're not gonna catch a project by himself, you damn sure gonna catch something on a Drake project. Eventually, sooner or later, you're gonna hear him on featured on something at the very least. Lil Uzi Vert, he's been able to stand out. Kodak Black as well. Lil Uzi Vert has been able to stand out by himself, honestly, in terms of his own music, and features as well. So all of them, I mean, this is one of the most iconic freshman XL lists, and it's crazy that it went viral for the wrong reasons, but they still, I mean, you got to give them credit. It's one of the most iconic covers.
What was it? Why? How is it that they're able to stay relevant and that 07, class was not?
I think
Day-Day.
it's because Day-Day. Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
I think it's more so because of the talent and the ear for the youth at the times. You had a maybe label influenced generation back in 07. You know, everything was label pushed, everything was radio play, everything was like Chris said earlier, everything was more so about physical copy. Like, let's go buy this physical copy. We were measured off of the physical unit. So versus the this double XL cover class right here that was considered the SoundCloud era. That was when streaming really took off. That was when the internet took off. That was when everything that people really thought were like backpack SoundCloud rappers. That was when that was shown, and that was like on a. And then, like you say, it was a heavily opinionated class too. Like, everybody our age was like, "Oh my God, these guys are trash." We sharing the clips because we like, man, this is garbage. What is hip hop turned into? Yeah. And then the new generation is like, man, this is awesome. You know, this is.
Yeah. I don't know. Uzi and 21 kind of slid though. They low key kind of slid.
Bro, collectively, it was crazy. It was collectively, it was just crazy to witness that. This is the right. You know what I'm saying?
It was a
but like Dede said, the era of SoundCloud rap. This is really where like the tide was changing and where it was going in real time, and where you could see
putting out the music
if somebody had a hit on YouTube. I mean, this is where, and it was big and it was huge, and they didn't get a push from a label. Double XL is now looking at that and putting people on based off of one song that blew up on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like, careers have been made from one song, or you know what I'm saying? And certain people have been able to manage to keep that fire, to keep it going. So I mean, that's where it is now.
This was truly one of the first eras to not care what other people think. Be, because
even Kodak, how he raps. Who the hell made this sorry ass beat?
Right.
And
you talking
man
about
said that on his freestyle.
Bro, and you talking about a legend.
Bro, ain't that DJ Drama? Bro, DJ Drama is a legend, bro.
And DJ, he made the beat, DJ the beat. And then Kodak said, who the hell made this sorry ass?
What do you mean? Uzi did the same thing when it went on Ebro's show. He said, if you put
Hot 97,
whenever you put on one of them whack ass beats, I'm not rapping. And he was like, people gonna look at you. And he said, not my fans. They know.
Bro, you know what? And you know what's crazy is Ebro, he told him he wasn't gonna be here. He said, we're gonna be here. He said, but you're not gonna be here. And that's crazy, bro.
Because he said, don't nobody want to hear that old school rap no more. He said, nobody wants to hear that old rap no more. He said, you know what? Since you talking like that, you're not gonna be relevant in 5 years.
Yeah,
bro.
I see that
was wrong
every year.
He got his feelings hurt.
And Ebro ain't even got a show no more. Ebro ain't even on the Ebro's not even on the radio anymore.
Yeah. Well, Rosenberg got it now.
Now
right?
Look at Uzi. Uzi is a rock star. Yeah, Rosenberg got everything. Now, Hot 97 is not really as big as it used to be in general. They used to do concert festivals and all type of stuff. They don't even do none of that stuff no more. They're barely hanging on. Them as a whole show. And that's one of the clips that I remember seeing go viral once, that it was announced that Hot 97 was no longer really going to be a platform as it used to be, like a radio show.
Yeah.
It was this is when it started, and they showed that Uzi Vert clip with him saying that.
Bro, that hurts, right? That's crazy. And at the time, and when you're in it, it's kind of hard to be able to tell how things are going to evolve or devolve. And even at that time, radio was starting to. So this is why we got to be careful about the things that we say, because even at that time, radio was starting to, with podcasts and everything starting to be on the rise and everything like that. Radio was honestly at its peak, and I don't think was going to go up any higher than that. You know what I'm saying? And now a lot of these guys that were in radio have to kind of everybody has a podcast now. It's not, it's not, it's not the cool thing or whatever the case may be, for lack of a better term, to have a radio show. Like everybody wants to have a pod, everybody wants to do a setup, and everybody want to get their shit off real quick. And so the way that content and information is today, it's kind of poetic in the irony that Ebro would say that to Lil Uzi Vert. And Lil Uzi Vert is a rock star now, as you said, very still relevant, who has a high demand at these concerts, like your Rolling Louds, like your whatever it is, Lollapalooza, or whatever, these concerts, Lil Uzi Vert still has a high demand. And yeah, I didn't really know that about Hot 90. I know that I don't watch Hot 97 anymore, but 10 years ago, when he was interviewing these rappers like Lil Uzi Vert, I was watching it. And so these days, I don't really watch Hot 97 or really radio shows that much anymore, as compared to like podcasts and everything like that, or quick videos. So yeah, it's crazy. It's a wild day that we're in, that somebody as talented and as smart as Ebro could say something like that. And now it's just kind of like, who, Ebro's always going to be able to do something. He still got his joint on Apple Music though, don't he?
The last I checked, he did.
Nobody's checking for him.
Yeah.
But
here's my thing. Here's my thing. Normally, Ebro wouldn't be
the
wrong.
last thing
right?
he hosted was the Versus.
But listen. What did Ebro only had history to go off of, right? How many rappers have graced his radio show, and that statement that he made has been accurate, right?
Yeah.
It was,
bro. I want to say,
tide, and these things changed, but I mean, you can't.
Bro, they had all of Young Money. They had all of Young Money 1 year at Hot 97 Summerfest or whatever it was called back then, bro.
Summer Jam.
Like Summer Jam. Like, bro, like what they were doing back in the day was incredible. Like,
all the way from the 90s to where even
ODB, but that's why you have to.
50 Cent.
But that's why you have to enjoy what you have in the moment that you have it, and not think that it's going to always be there forever. Like, because you see what has happened, and we've seen this happen with TV shows and company. Unless you one of the big companies like an NBC or you know what I'm saying, or something under Elon Musk or whatever bro. And we were talking about this earlier in the show, right? Digital. When you go digital, you don't have the rights, not for real. The great thing about it is you can recover it at any point, but it can all be snatched. And whenever you working for somebody and you a nigga that's working for somebody, you never know when these things are going to happen. But, being in a full-on radio station and having a radio show, bro, I mean, he wasn't crazy for saying what he said, bro. Matter of fact, DJ Academics is acting like this right now, going at Lil Baby. DJ Academics know that with him being the media and him feeding the fans what they want. I think that's
two different things.
But what I'm saying is,
streaming a radio, highly syndicated radio show with billions of listeners in their cars. It should be a family show. It should be.
But what I'm saying is the actions of DJ Academics, right? Mm-hmm. And what he's doing and how he's speaking. Most media would like, all right, man, I went about as far as I'm gonna go. I'm gonna just let it go. But he really talking like he out there in the streets with these people. You know what I'm saying? But he's speaking with the fact you cannot ruin me. I own what I have, and there's nothing you can do. But if it turns the tide and Baby is still here in Academics, because he done got caught up in a scandal, he done survived a couple scandals. But if he get caught up in a scandal or whatever the case is, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, but he's speaking right now with that same cockiness that Ebro had. Right?
Oh yeah, in comparison,
that's the point that I'm making. So it's just it's kind of wild that media are in a point to that now. But from one freshman class to the next, I think a big congratulations is in order for the one and only Miles Minnick. You know what I'm saying? The first ever Christian hip hop XXL freshman. Big shouts out to Miles Minnick, man. Had a chance to meet and speak with Miles Minnick, man. He's one of the ones that we wanted to show love to straight out the gate whenever we saw what he was doing. But, Coachella had mentioned his name. Bro, it wasn't nothing that was going to stop him from bubbling. For real. There was nothing that was going to stop him from bubbling. His name continued to get bigger. His movement continued to get bigger. And I think that this really proves.
He was getting radio push.
Yeah, bro. You talking about all
Crazy
kinds of
radio.
big
LA
artists.
was LA all over Cali. I saw him
Yeah,
spilling over in the podcast that I never even thought would even like mention Miles Minnick. You talking about street
yeah,
hood podcast, game members, game makers.
yeah.
This man is touching crazy. Like he's touching so many different demographics. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. I think that this is insane. Chris, what does this mean for Christian hip hop? First and foremost, speak to Miles Minnick himself, because this is a celebration. I know what he's going to do as well as he should. You know, this is a win for the kingdom. This is a win for Christian hip hop. He's nominated for Best New Artist right now as well. I got to check to see if he won. And the fact that he made XXL Freshman, he might actually win. But what does this mean for Christian hip hop? I honestly look at this and feel like this is I feel the exact same way when Lecrae popped up on the BET Cypher.
Yeah. No, this is huge. It lets me know that people are recognizing what's real and people want something that's real. Like, and I think that when you think about Miles Minnick, you know, the type of artist that he is, true to himself, he's going, and then sonically the music is good.
Real good.
And Miles Minnick has been doing this for years, and people are just now starting to. He's starting to get that mainstream exposure now, but he's been grinding for years, and he's elevated himself. He was good back then. I feel like he's incredible now, but and he's true to himself. You know what a Miles Minnick track sounds like, and he's gonna get that to you, and it's gonna be a Miles Minnick fashion, and it's gonna be dope. He rarely has misses, and he's gonna always pop out with a banger. So that's who Miles Minnick is. And let's not get started on the freestyles that he's been doing, and like you said, the podcast Day and the shows that he's been going on, and you know the places that I've been seeing him. I've been like, man, it seemed like every other day you've been seeing Miles Minnick pop up somewhere, and it's been incredible to see. Talented artist, bro. Humble dude, good dude, and I'm happy for him. I'm happy about this accomplishment for him. And it's a big thing for Christian hip hop in general. Like, you know, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he said he won by a landslide in terms of vote.
They said it wasn't even
close.
Yeah, they said it wasn't
I
even
mean,
close.
so that's not only a sign of how incredible Miles Minnick is and how loyal and how heavy his fan base is, but that's also a sign of how incredible God is, man. To be able to be the first Christian hip hop artist to be on something like this is dope. And yeah, I can't say no more about how incredible this moment is for him. And I think that this is just a start, bro. He got so much more to do, so many more places to go.
Yeah.
And I feel like that, and I feel like I just feel like this adds to it, and this is more of a stamp, you know what I'm saying, to keep him going.
I mean, people can say
pushing.
how they want to, that they don't want to be recognized by the world. And you know, the conversation around this, he's still got the people in his comments saying that this isn't godly, and why would you want to be by the with the world? A lot of people are saying, you know, I'll never champion this, or I'll never condone this. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is why is this something we want? And my thing is this, bro, we're all on a different journey. At the end of the day, we all got the same goal in mind. We all got the same destination, but we're all on a different journey. And Miles Minnick's, this is clearly Miles Minnick's lane to run in. The crazy part about it, I mean, you know, there are plenty of other rappers who could have been in this, you know, situation if they wasn't hating so much, or, you know, without looking at this as it being a competition, more like this is really what we want to do. But it looks like that the community of Christian hip hop really stood in a way and celebrated this. But I hate the fact that, you know, people are still trying to find a way to say that this is not of God. Why are these people miserable? What is this, Day?
Man, you know, anything that is even concurring with so-called mixing in with the world is always going to be looked at as a sin. If you're not leading others to Christ visibly in the eyes of the saints, then it's always going to be like shame, shame. what are you even doing? You ain't doing nothing but letting the evil spirits rub off on you. You supposed to be holding hands and ministering and praying and invite them to church. And Miles Minnick actually does again on these podcasts that I've watched. I've seen him minister and hey, come to service. What you doing Sunday? Bring the family. My pastor is this. My pastor's cool because he's not even like a pastor or anything. So he's not in that position where you would think he's inclined, because in 2026, like, we living in a different era of Christian. Like, we're not living in that era where people will be like, hey, come to my church. People are more so just like, hey, I am a Christian rapper. That's me. You don't have to support it. You don't have to buy a CD, but this is just what it is. And I want to let the world know that we make dope records too. I mean, if anything, that's still the argument versus just, oh, I'm gonna come minister to y'all on y'all's platform and y'all invite me on to sit down and interview. Like, we're not living in that era anymore. Let's be real. So if you get the opportunity to be able to broadcast the gospel, then you're gonna take it however people receive it. You're not gonna force it on nobody and feel like, I'm called here to be that type of Christian that's witnessing and evangelizing and stuff and things of that nature. So I mean, that's how I see it.
Yeah, I just hate that, you would think a lot of these artists, as many times as we've seen these artists on Sway, as many times as we've seen these artists be invited to BET, as many times as we've seen these artists be on podcasts that have nothing to do with them. I mean, if anybody is worried about anybody, I mean, people should go and look at D1 and really watch the way that he's moving in these spaces. D1 has not once changed up, no matter who is in front of, whether it's Fat Joe, whether it's Joe Budden, whether it's Big Bank, like, no matter who he has stood face to face with, his war on hip hop, if that's what you want to call it, has remained the same. And he's never, just because he's been placed in these situations or because he's had these big moments, I have never once seen D1 switch it up to make it cool to be where he is. And the same goes, Dave, with kind of what you're saying with Miles Minnick. This guy has literally been the realest, no matter where he's been. I mean, he's at the BET Awards talking about, hey, we're about to hit the red carpet right through those doors. And the red stand for the blood of Christ. Like that kind of, like, he's real. What God has done for him is so real that he does not care the heights that he climbs. And I hate people that's going to take this and be like, look at what he's doing. And Lecrae could have did, man. Like, leave all of that alone. Like, the eras are different and the methods have to be different, bro. Because of what Lecrae has done is the reason why Miles Minnick can be as bold as he can and still get these opportunities, bro. It's a resurgence and a blow up in Christian hip hop in this moment where, and 2020 was a lot of the reason why, because people had no reason but to sit around and scroll, and Christian hip hop really blew up. The thing is that's never lost its power is the fact that the United States of America is, for all intents and purposes, a Christian nation, right? And so with it being one of the biggest religions, right, in the nation, then at that point, people are always going to be in some form attached to their faith, whether it was from when they were growing up, whether it was from, a new journey that they got on, or whatever the case is. And when you start going to these different churches, how are they saying, hey, we're cool too? They're playing Christian hip hop. They're playing Forrest Frank. They're playing Lecrae. They're playing Andy Mineo. They're playing Miles Minnick. Like, and so these people that only went to church once or twice, or maybe a friend invited them, they are now getting this opening to these things. And when you're just scrolling and your feed says, oh, they like one Christian post, maybe they like this post, and you have big people rapping over these challenges. And Jenny McCarthy's husband, I can't think of his name right now, but it was a real big, I think he rapped with the Beastie Boys, and he was, or New Kids on the Block, something like that, and he rapped on a Forrest Frank record. When you start seeing things like this, bro, it changes the game. And so since a lot of people, still, man, they could do the craziest stuff. Mo3, one of my favorite artists, was out killing niggas, but his faith was very strong throughout his music. So when you look at a lot
of my aunt be bumping Mo3 like he Kirk Franklin.
Bro, so this is what I'm saying, though.
Man, like, you ain't lying.
This is what I'm saying. But if you listen to Mo3's music, his faith was riddled, and the struggle behind his faith was riddled in his music. Do I serve the streets or do I serve? You know what I'm saying? And obviously you can go through doctrine and all of that, but ain't nobody trying to do that. I'm just trying to make a point that everybody is trying to find that faith and that safe haven. If you can make that music and it still be a banger, bro, that's the sweet spot. That's the sweet spot. I get to escape what I'm really listening to or what I'm drawn to, and still get these bops, and still can pull up to the bar or pull up to the club bumping Miles, pull up to the gas station bumping Miles, and nobody cared. I think Bun B was one of the ones that said what put me on Lecrae was the fact that I could pull up to the car wash with my windows down, blasting his music, and people start asking me who it is.
Let it whip.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So to your point, Chris, I think you're right. I think a lot of people are searching for the real and they want the authenticity and in whatever form that may be. So big shouts out to Miles Minnick, man, to see how far he's grown, to see how far this is going. Dude is constantly selling out his concerts. And I knew that once Coachella made him change his name, I knew that he was getting too big. I knew at that moment that it was only a matter of time. And I can't wait to actually catch his freestyle. What we think? What we think? Is he really about to bring it to this XXL freestyle?
He gonna murder that.
You know he gonna go crazy.
I feel like he gonna switch it up 3-4 flows.
Bro, he like this ain't nothing new to him, bro. Hopping on a freestyle,
bro. I like the bro. He does not care who he's around or what company he is in, bro. The swag he continues to bring, bro. The drip, the aura that he has, bro, is something that it's only a few people in this space got, bro, and he definitely has it, man. It's something crazy to see for real. And this is a height that Christian hip hop hasn't reached. I mean, you could say Cray, you know, and being on the Cypher, that was the door opening, right? But we talking about a XXL Freshman Day. We was talking about this in the group chat. You were saying something around the lines of the 10th spot actually damn near mean more than being voted on to the first 9?
It does. It means a lot more because it's like winning the first spot. You know, the voters are ultimately the catalyst in this whole idea of the XX Freshman cover because we get the so-called vote on who is the most popular rapper, who is the up-and-coming guy, who's crossing over from underground to mainstream in our eyes. So if the fans are the ones that decide overall who joins, and then he's like basically first place in votes. If you get 10 spot, that means you're the most unanimous, hands down requested like artist, like out of everybody. So, and they put over 100. They put hundreds and hundreds of artists on this list. Like I've actually personally voted for XXL submissions before. So they put hundreds. You have to scroll on that website for a long time to find the artists that you want to find. To vote them in. So if you got all these people vote you into 10 spot, that means people really were favoring you and pulling for you.
But one of the things that he did, you know, he's just always had a big following, and his fans or his audience, whatever you want to call it, his family, they truly believe in what he does, and they truly believe in his mission. And that's, you know, people used to get mad at Christian hip hop for people not co-signing them. But people like a Miles Minnick, a Caleb Gordon, and a Mike Teasy, I love putting them all in the same category just because obviously they're different, but just because they're a part of that 2020 rap era. They went, built their own table, and ultimately got to where they are. They didn't depend on cosigns. They didn't depend on people liking them and following them. They built their own, you know, like Cinderella said, in my own little corner, in my own little chair. Like, you know what I'm saying? They truly built in there, but we're talking about, you know, he is up here with people like Skrilla, which Trap Dicky, you know what I'm saying? And I know Skrilla had a big couple years. And
Trap Dicky just signed a TDE.
Yeah, so Trap, yeah. So we
and then about Lil Yachty was the 10th spot. He's basically DDG. DDG is the biggest recent name out of all these names. Like you look at him,
but you know, with DDG, he's more on his podcast tip, right?
Yeah, I mean, he is social media.
He's came back to rapping, but
I feel like that's more of a thing that we should praise, because if Miles Minnick was to use the same technique to get everybody on social media on his side to go get those votes, then that just speaks to the influence that you have, not just in real life, but on social media as well. It's not like people on social media is like, who is this guy? Who? Miles who? Nah, everybody like Miles Minnick. So if that means he was voted so heavily that means if he wasn't to make it, people would have been in the comments like, no Miles Minnick with a whole bunch of question marks. Because that's why everybody really at this point, to be real, the only reason people really look at the XXL freshman cover now is to say, no such and such, no such and such, no this person, no that person. They're not really praising the people or looking into the people that actually made the list at this point in time.
Nah, man, I think that's huge. Like you said, I remember going to go vote for Miles for that 10th spot, and I had to scroll so far to find Miles Minnick. And I was just thinking, I was like, man, this is gonna be, you're gonna have some fans going into scroll fatigue. Man. You know what I'm saying? To actually try to get in there and vote. But I think that the community came through. You know, forget all the people that's talking negative. That's what they're gonna be. You always gonna have people that have a bit more, for lack of a better term, standard to what they do. I don't really want to call it a standard because I think it's ridiculous. But just to get my point across, you have people that have you know, that in their system. So nothing you do will ever be right. Unless you know, never mind. Nothing you have to do is going to be right. So, you know, it's just kind of one of those things, man. But as I told y'all, CHH is having a big resurgence. And I truly believe that there are 3 artists that reset or have reset Christian hip hop with the projects they dropped. And that is Magic and Bird and Parris Chariz. Let's start with Magic and Bird. Day, what are your thoughts on this project that they just dropped? They hit us with a 3-pack for 3 weeks, and I kind of was like, there's no real point for me to pay attention to the drop. Paid attention to the drop because I know who they are and I like what they do. What are your thoughts on this project?
Man, it's just so much excitement and hype because of the theme of the project. Like, let's look at the theme. Like, we're talking old school wrestling. Yeah. There's promo cuts, skits all through the project. There's bars on top of bars of wrestling, wrestling references and just samples. There was a few samples, I believe. I'm not quite mistaken on if I heard the John Cena Thugonomics, the Dr. Thugonomics sample. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. My ear hasn't quite really locked in on that yet, but it's just all these things that really, just make you feel like a kid again, but also like, you realizing you're an adult because they giving grown adult bars too, with alongside the fact that we're living in nostalgia, we're living in the back then, but we're being big kids with this record. We're having fun. I think that was the initial idea of the first Magic and Bird record was just, we do this for the kids. They even had a record called Kids. That was one of the biggest bangers on that one. So I think they keeping that idea going with this theme. I'm looking at this cover right now, and I'm just thinking about all the hours that it took to put on that paint.
The dedication,
and, bro. Like the real dedication. You could tell they locked in the character. Like, look at Andy, look at Wordplay. Like, they faces just showing, like, come on, brother, let's do this. Like, they probably were like chest bumping each other.
For them.
Yeah, like they got like they looked at those shoulder pads, they put them shoulder pads on, and they spirited the role. And like, what was that group called? The Animal and Roll Warrior. Yes, because I remember like the age I'm at, and I remember when Snitsky and the other member, because I know one of those members passed away, but I remember that feeling of finding out about that tag team from watching real wrestling. And again, we kind of almost went viral for talking about their age. I don't want to bring up their age again, but we just gonna kind of say they in a different age range when it comes to the wrestling generation. So for them to put a spotlight on their generation.
Look at Eddie Minio, bro. He shaved the top, bro.
Bro, that's another thing too. That's real dedication, bro. He gave himself the 3 Stooges. The 3 Stooges cut, bro. That's what I forgot. That's what I wasn't mentioning. Because I was listening to a song and I looked at the cover. You know how you actually tap your phone and the cover pop up. Like, dang, Andy cut his hair in the middle.
He did. He really
like how long
he dedicated.
Did he hide that? Like, did he cut that and then hide it with a hat, or just man? You just never know.
Andy Minio, bro. He probably didn't care.
Hey,
like,
to be honest,
he just kept playing with it.
He really went full Tyler the Creator with that haircut, because Tyler the Creator did that with his last album. what was it called? Chromacopia, where he kind of, if you look at that album cover, he got a weird looking haircut, and he really sported this haircut for like months.
Bro,
Toured with it and everything.
That's all Drake, bro. You know, the hearts and you know what I'm saying, keeping the cut until the new project drop, or having the braids with all the barrettes in his head until the project drop. You know, that's kind of Drake's thing, bro. You remember when Certified Lover Boy dropped, and Drake had the heart for the whole time until the project dropped.
But that wasn't outrageous. That was actually like a trend. That was actually like that was something that made people actually go run and get that. People was actually going.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah.
Nobody's getting that Andy, bro. Nobody's getting tired of the
going to the barbershop, bro.
Yeah, nobody's like, hey, yo. Let me get that Family Matters cut. Let me get that Family Matters cut, man. Carl's Winslow, man.
You know, it's funny that you say that they brought the fun out of this. And that's exactly what I was thinking when I was listening to this project. They brought the fun back. And Andy Minnick, one of the things, he was one of the first people to be like, I'm not a Christian hip hop artist. I'm a creative, right? And you started seeing this. He made some of the best music videos in Christian hip hop. His creative direction, and towards the end, when he was really trying to leave Reach Records, he just really started to put all his cards out on the table. And so we were seeing these great pieces of work being put together and meticulously paced together. But it's almost like he got to link up with Words Plan to have his Joker moment. He got to link up with Words Play to be like, you know, why so serious? Like I got into rap for the sport of rap, and this entire project, you know, like I told y'all in the group chat, sounds like a rapping exercise. Like he got with his best friend and they started just throwing on beats like you used to back in the day, and truly just started having fun with these records, keeping the concept in the concept. But it really seems like they just got together and started having fun. And
they had a point on the record where they were rapping back and forth like all the members of Bone Thugs and Harmony. And that was just a moment that speaks to your point where I'm like, these guys are literally in the booth just having fun. They recorded the whole process, so we could go back and watch the documented footage of them in the studio just making noises just to reference tracks, you know, just to how we gonna start this beat? Because Andy's producing it. He's in his production bag in the bid. So he's kind of picking different sounds that's going to go on different beats, and they kind of building early reference tracks and rough draft tracks and stuff like that.
Man, it's just crazy about this. Chris, how do you feel about this project? You know, Andy Minnick pops out like this once every couple years where he just want to have fun with whatever series is, you know, whatever series he winds up dropping. If you're talking about cartoons, you know, if you're talking about the series where he was building projects from the ground up, I can't think of them.
Neverland
right now. Neverland, if you think about Neverland and different things like that, like that.
The arrow, and the cloud, and all that. This is first off, Andy Minnick and Words Play, they're always going to put together a banger of classics. I mean, you know, sonically, the music that they make together is always incredible. Andy Minnick, as it pertains to his creative mind and brain, there's always been a common denominator with Andy Minnick projects, and how his artistic mind takes you on a journey. And we can say this with both of them, with Magic and Bird, with the whole WWE thing, and the Warrior and Road Dogg. Like, it's all nostalgic, and it's incredible that they take you on this journey. When we talk about the first Magic, when we talk about the first Magic and Bird joint, that's, you know, the draft and the, you know, the basketball theme and everything like that. And then you get to this. I really appreciate how Andy Minnick doesn't minimize the actual picture that he's trying to paint, the actual event, the rollout, the event, and the artistic freedom that he's trying to display whenever he's doing these projects. It's not about just releasing songs with him. It's about taking you on a journey. And I think that a lot of artists don't really take their fans on a journey like that. You should be feeling like that you're trying to present a movie to somebody, or a television show, or, you know what I'm saying? Like albums that make you feel like that, I feel like are legendary albums. Albums like that, I feel like are Logic's Incredible True Story. That whole album,
Yeah.
front to back, takes you on a journey and a consistent theme throughout the entirety of the project. When you get projects like that, I just believe it's a beautiful art piece and a beautiful artwork. And people don't really make artistic albums like that, taking you through journeys, and really trying to give you something that you feel like that you can experience, like you're actually diving into the album and
Yeah.
experiencing it and going on this ride rather than just listening to a project. And I feel like the Indie
Yeah.
Minio has consistently hit on that throughout the years. The
It is
skits, him
true.
having fun
Yeah.
and everything, like
Yeah.
that's always been Indie Minio words played. But you could tell, down to the skits and them cutting promos. Bro, I don't understand how they were able to do this and just not have to do a million takes by laughing all the time. But
Oh
you
yeah,
could tell that they're
they
really,
kept the
I'm
laughs.
sure. I'm
you,
sure they
it's
did.
crazy,
Like,
bro. It's
They was laughing
crazy,
at the
bro.
Hispanic Puerto Rican woman. She was like, "Oh yeah, don't be laughing at me, man. You know what I'm talking about." And they just in the background
Dude,
busting out, cracking up. They kept them
dude,
takes.
I mean, this is them, man, and they're incredibly talented, and yeah,
I
I
think you
just
make
I had yeah,
I think you make a great point, Chris. When we talk about that was one of the things as I was listening to this project, I just repeated over and over again. This is the purity of the art. Like you say, not just putting a record out, not just making a song, but truly having a purpose behind rapping. Like Andy Mineo being as young as he was and being a battle rapper and truly being bred in New York, like, those are rappers out that way. Like when we talk about like real rap, like, West Coast is like that, too, but they got their own sound. But when we talk about like when people say bars on bars, like that's that New York, Philly area that we talk about when we talk about rappers. So for Andy Mineo to be able to get this off, be able to create a project that, like you said, it feels like a timepiece. It truly stops time. And that's the thing, Andy Mineo has always stopped time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Anytime that he dropped, but this was one of those Andy dropped moments. And then it's a very popular project when we talk about Magic and Bird and the way they are when they link up. And one of the things that I love about Words Played is that he seems to be the only one that could truly bring this Andy out.
Mm-hmm.
Like you bring in John, you bring in John to loosen Andy up and to get those real creative juices flowing. Pause. But you bring Words Played in to bring out the real Andy. And when they rap together, man, like we were talking about duos that just don't miss and those that, when they rap together, it's an instant summer type vibe.
Yes, big summer vibe.
Andy Mineo and Words Played needs to not have their name out of the top 3. And I know that's a big statement, but them being able to put out this work of art in the way that they were able to put it in, and to your point, Chris, an entire masterpiece, the purity of the art in a world where music is constantly running fast and you're just trying to hear one album so that you can say that you heard it just to get to the next album. And if somebody new drops next week, you know what I'm saying? And this isn't one of those. This was not a microwaved meal. This wasn't a TV dinner. This was Thanksgiving dinner. This was something that they truly put their foot in, took their time with, worked it. You started smelling this walking up to the house. When you get out the car and you smell it, you're like, oh yeah, nah.
From the intro.
Bro, this is something through those little seeds that they were dropping 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. You smelling the cooking all the way. Just to use a wrestling reference, do you smell what Magic and Bird is cooking? Like you started smelling, and then they dropped this on your head. They dropped it on your head top.
You got this before GTA 6.
Got it, bro. It's crazy.
How you get this before GTA 6?
Speaking of those, just to kind of run through this real quick to say some of my best ones. Dog Pit Go Crazy. That's just one you gotta. I really want to fight. Listening to Dog Pit, like I really want to be.
That's what I'm saying. You coming from the top rope.
Yeah, GTA 6 was crazy. Obviously Benny Him Year Jubilee went crazy, bro. Obviously Febreze Brothers, we know about that.
Brothers.
That Make It Stop was insane. Like, bro, they truly put their foot in this. Chris, what are yours on this record?
Like you said, Benny Hill, a couple of the originals as well. Above It, like I said, bro, Above It is really my bad. I got it. Dog Pit, and GTA 6, bro. I mean, honestly, like you talk about like crazy. A well-balanced when you talk about a well-balanced project, bro, like like it gets no better than this, bro. And like you said, every couple tracks getting that break of a skit, well, now that's them bringing you back in and reminding you what this is about. So every now and then getting those skits and hearing them, I just think made it all connect together and made it all flow together.
They put out one of them projects that it was 20 songs. They really put out one of them old 2005 records. And they did a hell of a job. Dave, before we get off of this topic, what are your records off that album?
Man, all of them. Because the reason why I say that is because compared to the first one was just such greatness in my eyes with listening to the records and thinking, how would this sound in the concert venue? Like, how would this sound at a live event? Because that's the next thing that comes to my mind. Is it going to be a tour from this? Is it going to be merch? Like, we come from that era where, like, there's a full rollout alongside the music when it comes to, like, merch, touring, like you say, memorabilia. Like the last album had like the basketball cards, player edition. Are we gonna get like wrestling t-shirts? Are we gonna get a fake wrestling belt with this rollout? Like, what are we gonna get with this rollout? Like, that's more so what I'm thinking about when I listen to all these tracks.
And you've always been like that. You've always been, because you like to truly live this. Like, you like to be engulfed in the moment. So
because this music is our life. I remember where I was in life listening to Magic the Bird 1. I was in Tennessee. I was in college. I was going through a hard time in life, going to class, I'm working a job overnight, going to class all day, morning, noon, and evening, up until one of my job, and then listening to Magic the Bird 1. Nobody can do it themselves. It won't work. You already tried it. Man, I'm just talking about like moments that I lived and I just used this music to keep me going in it. It made me feel like I was having fun during the process.
So that means it was a classic. People used to ask me, how do you define a classic? And classics are different for different people. I don't think classics are universal, but I always say classics are bodies of work or records that can take you back to a specific moment in time and you relive it through that song. That's the reason why I like putting on a Kanye West College Dropout, because I can remember how old I was being a freshman in high school, in my room listening. My parents don't even know what I'm listening to now, or that I'm even listening to anything. And to be in this moment to listen, and I'm sitting in my bedroom and learning every word and reading through the booklet, and you know what I'm saying? Like, where I'm really like, so I would call those classics. And I think that this has the potential to be a classic as well. This is the reason why I said that they reset hip hop, reset Christian hip hop. And another person that helped reset Christian hip hop was that man Parris Chariz. He released a crazy banger, The World Is Watching. We talk about the purity of the art, and the biggest thing I come away from with this is that you cannot box Parris Chariz in. What you think you got his flow down, and then the next record is a whole different type of flow. You think he sound like one person, and then he totally switches it up and he sounds like himself. I think it's very interesting that they came through and they said, be original. Parris Chariz is one of the most unique people in Christian hip hop. And he showed it through this project, and he was so vulnerable. He's never had moments or projects where he's not vulnerable, but it's like with each project, he's bringing you closer. He's bringing you closer. He's bringing you closer. And shouts out to him for reconciling with his dad, and now they talk and different things. Like, I think that that's such a beautiful moment, especially for a black man. You know what I'm saying? Been in his situation. But this project definitely helped hit the reset button on CHH. How you feeling, Chris? What you think about that?
I mean, Parris Chariz has been the perfect model for consistency throughout the years as it pertains to the projects and the music that he drops. And this project, The World Is Watching, is nothing short of that. Like you said, I'm listening to it, and to me, it's a project that flows really well together. A complete project.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for hype music, bro. And the way that the album starts off like that, just kind of like really hard in your face, like you're gonna get me every time. And I'm a sucker for flow. Parris Chariz has flow. If you want flow, he's gonna give that to you. I love a great unique cadence. Parris Chariz is always going to give a great cadence as it pertains to how he's flowing on his beats. How he writes his verses and his cadence, and using his voice as a drum to, ride different beats and everything like that. Parris Chariz is incredible, bro. And if you want wave music, he's going to give that to you. If you want bars, he's going to give that to you. And he's always doing this as it pertains to this project where he's going to give you a perfect balance and a perfect mix, and it's going to be consistent across the board. I mean, 222 is hard. Like, we know that that's hard.
222 is crazy,
Christian Mingo's 45 questions is crazy, bro. 45 questions is crazy. And then as you talk about
Black Knight, he even got a Black Knight record.
A Black Knight, bro. The song with Black, bro. The song, the Black Knight produced joint, bro, is dope, bro. And like you said, there's songs on there where he's being vulnerable too. And to me, it's a great project. And if somebody wanted to put it as Parris Chariz's best project to date, like, I wouldn't be mad at that, bro. I may have to do that. Like, honestly, like this album is like that, bro. Like, this album is like that. And shouts out to Parris Chariz staying true to himself. And he's one of those dudes that's always going to deliver this type of music, and it doesn't matter who it is. I love the Johns where he really be like censoring himself and everything like that. And
that is the most cleverest shit that I've ever heard somebody do, bro. How do you censor yourself and you make it flow so well with the music? Like, we know what you're saying. We know what you're saying.
Yeah. He said like a BT movie.
But you know what I'm saying? But you hold the word and you rhyme the other word with the word that was supposed to be there, but you didn't really say it, and you didn't push it to where it cut it out either. You stopped yourself right in a moment to flow it, bro. This nigga and being
bro, he slid, bro. He slid,
bro. It's crazy. Dave, how you feeling about this Parris Chariz project, man? I know it was a big weekend for music, but Parris Chariz dropped this The World Is Watching project, man. How you feeling on that project?
Man, I ain't gonna lie. Even though you initially stated when you reminded us that it dropped that it was nothing that we can do to put them in a box or compare them to anyone else or anything like that, I still couldn't help but to kind of consume this project with a comparison mindset. And it may sound crazy, but let me say this point, let me land with it. So first big comparison that comes to mind is looking at the fact that every 2 years Parris drops. He drops every 2 years. Somebody else that I know or we know is known for that is Kendrick Lamar. He drops about every 2 years. He's taking his time with this music. This is music that you could tell he really locked in. He didn't just go drop whatever he came up with and it just was like, oh, it's whatever. Like, this is a label obligation or just something that I'm doing to pass the time. Like, you could tell that he's grown and that he's musically wanted to show that he's taking his time with his pen. The bars are there. He wasn't lackluster at the bars at all. So I kind of put him in the Kendrick mindset with that part of it. Another part is because, like you said, production wise, like, he reminds me of Gucci Mane in 2006 production wise, because Gucci Mane had different producers that he was breaking, like Zaytoven, Cassius J, like different producers that people wasn't too privy of, but it was like, oh, he like tag teaming with this producer. Because when I heard them records with Derek Minor that he did, I looked because I heard the records. I'm like, I know this is Derek Minor making this beat. I know this is a Derek Minor influence. So I'm going on Spotify. He got me looking at the production credits. He got me looking at the composer credits. Like we back in 2006, opening the album, looking through the book, like who made this beat, who wrote this, who's involved in this production. and to me, that's how I consume the project as far as like his production was there, like you say, wordplay was bars. Like you could tell that he didn't just put any old thing together. It was like, like he touching on certain topics. Like y'all know, y'all talking about this, whatever it may be. Like as far as smoking weed, or like you say, if I still talk about God, if I'm still rap about this and that, because we saw Parris in his early days. We saw when he was in the venue, jumping on the stage, almost breaking it in half, throwing waters inside of it, inside buildings. Like he not even outside. He throwing water bottles inside. Like. So we saw the passion for being a young Christian rapper, hungry for the gospel and rapping about the gospel and things of that nature. But now it's just straight up mature bars. Like I feel like also to throw in another thing, how everybody was talking about Jay-Z's 444 rapping was all mature and elegant.
You think that's the wall?
I think Parris is in it. Yeah, because even looking at the cover, looking at his whole image, he's wearing suits. You know, he's not snapback rapping no more. He ain't, broke. What was it? I can't think of that brand he had put on the map. Group Fly. He's not rocking them Group Fly t-shirts no more. He's straight suit and tie. Straight taper clean with the mini fro, like different swag, almost pinstripe like Taylor fit, Looking at that cover also is what made me think of Kendrick Lamar, because you look at Kendrick Lamar's covers every 2 years he dropping, and you thinking the bars don't wrap the cover of this album. It doesn't match. Yeah. And then you listen and then you like, oh, this is different. Oh, nice.
Parris, one of the things that I like is kind of like what Chris said. He stayed Parris. And I think that honestly one of the best things that probably has happened to him is him signing to RMG. Because when we talk about a Derek Minor, bro, and how he truly went up against the system, we all knew that it was something different about Derek Minor. We all knew that he didn't really fit the Reach Records mold. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we all knew with Derek Minor that it was going to be temporary because of how polarizing Derek Minor was and the type of sound he wanted to bring to Christian hip hop that was not Reach Records. Like we always praise Reach Records for being true to the sound of us, or being true to the sound of the streets. But it was a different sound that Derek Minor was bringing, and who better to really understand a Parris Chariz type artist than a Derek Minor? And I think that that's a hell of a mentor to have. And he can make the music he wants to make and reach the people that he wants to reach, and not have to worry about people looking over his shoulder trying to make sure he's saying the right thing or moving the right way. And I think that that's the best thing that somebody like a Parris Chariz could have in his corner when he's trying to make this type of music. And so them announcing, him being with and I remember hollering at Parris before he left out of here, and he was telling me that he was moving to Nashville. And, I don't think we really talk about who he was going to link up with, but then all of a sudden I see the podcast that they're doing. And I'm like, like the chemistry that they have and the type of person that Derek Minor is, like, this is truly a match made in heaven. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is, I couldn't be more happier for him. And so for him to drop this type of project that has no misses, that flows from, from record to record, and it's banger after banger after banger. And it ain't even a banger like it's a hype banger like we talk about Magic and Bird. No, like these are melodic bangers. These are smooth bangers. These are hype bangers. These are street bangers. Like,
production is there.
Record. My thing is, he the one that, the crazy part about it is, bro, I didn't even know who OTS Honcho was until he did that Butterfly project. And he put me on, and when him and OTS, OTS J Honcho, I think, whenever they get on a record together, bro, it is a different type of and I love it every time they get on a record together, bro. And so, these things that he wants to do, what better person to have in your corner pushing you and telling you to keep going and that you're living out your purpose than a Derek Minor. And I think that was real big for RMG and for Derek Minor to go and do that. Man, they got somebody with it. And this is a relationship that they built for years. This isn't just now and for the podcast. Like, they've been messing with each other for years. And I love the fact that, Derek Minor's always been that type. He's gonna bring the real. You know, when you talk about a Tony Tillman, like Tony Tillman, everything that we know about him and his upbringing and different things like that. You talk about a Cannon, like these are real niggas. You know what I'm saying? That he's had in his camp. And so for a Parris Chariz to be a part of that legacy, bro, like this is the perfect match when we talk about a Parris Chariz, man. And the project is phenomenal, front to back. Hella replay value. I don't think
Timeless record.
I don't think Parris has ever released a record that doesn't have hella replay value. But each one, Chris, kind of like you said, is better than the next. And I can truly say that, you know, I want to sit with it because I really want to give these artists the time. I hate giving out these crazy, outlandish reviews after only sitting with a project once or twice. You know, you can truly be a prisoner of the moment. But this
only got a week.
But this project here specifically, I think it matches. Consistency is a great word because I think it matches the level of production and the level of quality that he breathes into his music. And, you know, most of these niggas' first dream was to be a rapper, not a Christian rapper, a rapper. And he, along with Andy Minio and Words Played, truly show and continue to show that I'm a rapper first. Like God, like God, like my calling. I'm going to preach the gospel. I'm going to do all of this, but understand, you will get these bars. Understand, I rap. And, you know, not to say nobody else isn't doing that. I'm just saying that this was a breath.
You can hear the passion, and you can hear the passion. I had a moment like that too, where I honestly was thinking about, I can hear Parris's voice. I can hear him closing his eyes and veins popping out his neck. When he almost kissing the mic, he looking like the Biggie Smalls actor on Notorious biopic, you know, spit flying and all everywhere, you know.
Single Jesus is. Yeah,
man. They like, yo, back up, please. Can you back up from the mic, please?
Yeah. So now big shouts out to Parris Chariz. You know, it's kind of crazy. I remember when they released that song Parris, not released the song Parris, but when they released the song Praise with What Up RG, and he was on that record. And on the unreleased version, the one that wasn't officially released through Reach, it had the word holes in it. But then when Reach released it, he had to censor himself and he couldn't say it. But that was kind of the beginning of him kind of getting around what he wanted. Then we started hearing him say jiggers a lot, you know, and kind of getting real creative in his music, you know. And I remember Derek Minor saying one time, like, man, y'all got to figure the secret sauce out. Like, you mean to tell me all you got to do is change a couple words in order for you to get the bag? Like, that's easy. Make it work. But some of these people are selfish and stubborn and different things like that, where they're not going to do that. And speaking of things like that, Derek Minor and Parris Chariz officially had to place disclaimers before their podcast, to say that pod, because they had an incident where they said shit live on air, and the Christians were mad at him of that. Do you think it's fair or foul? Either one of y'all, do y'all think it's fair or foul? Well, I'll start with you, Dave, that they actually had to do this. Should they not be able to create in a space and create in a way that they want to create? Or do you think it's a smart route to go to do this, to try to prepare those that think that they're safe enough or that this thing is safe enough for them to listen to?
I believe that disclaimer is something that is a protection for them, so that the way they don't have to keep reiterating the same point. And
this is for mature audience.
Exactly, because we personally, all three of us know, because we had, you know, conversations early on. We started the Hip Hop Corner together about, hey, are we going to talk a certain way, or are we going to clean up our vocabulary? And half of us was like, we should clean it up, and the other half of us was like, nah, nigga, we gonna talk how we want to talk. This us. Ain't nobody gonna change how we talk. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna change us. This us. We us because we us. And if they don't like it, they ain't gotta watch it.
Sorry, y'all. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, you know, and it's not obvious to see.
That was definitely you.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to be specific on who was who, but it's not obvious to tell. But, you know, I just feel like that us personally going through that, it was their way of showing, okay, we can clean up our act, but this is going to be the way we do it, by putting that disclaimer in front of every episode. That way we don't have these phone calls and emails and comments like, I would have listened, but at 1.32 seconds you said the word hell in the most demeaning way, and because John chapter 2 verse 32 says this and that, I can no longer subscribe. So I'll unsubscribe from y'all. Like, because of that stuff like that, you know, of course
I just hate it, bro, because there are shows, the Pat McAfee show on ESPN, they have to put a disclaimer up to say that, hey, we in no way, shape, and form like are really affiliated. We're just basically hosting this show, and their views are their views. But this constantly points to the fact of Christian hip hop, I hate to say it, is a kid's genre. Is that not right, Chris?
Because
that's what they said. Hey, I got my kids in the car. I was listening to it, and I thought it was safe to listen to. But if you've heard any of their topics, like, they're not saying, what is your kid learning from the type of topics that they're covering when they're talking about business, or they're talking about how people are moving in Christian hip hop, or come on now. I mean, you should have known from that it wasn't necessarily for your kid. I don't even let my kids listen to Gil's Arena, and they just talking about sports, but I know what I'm getting into. But go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I think that the disclaimer, like Daddy was saying, as it pertains to protection, I think that is smart. Hey, at the end of the day, we all know that what Parris Chariz and Derek Minor stand for as it pertains, and for the most part, this is a family show. For the most part, a lot of these shows I feel like can be family shows, but at the end of the day, adults will speak like adults at times. And so you may hear something. I know you definitely gonna hear it on our show. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Data was saying, you don't hear it on our show. And so, yeah, we would have to put those particular stamps on our content if they went out to the masses like that. So I can understand Derek Minor and Parris Chariz having to do that. And it's only smart at the end of the day. That way you run into nobody who's shocked or surprised. And those people can make those decisions before they get deep into the content, before they dive deep into the content.
Take this a different way. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair to us. Derek Minor has been out of the Christian hip hop spotlight for years. And what I mean by that is, I don't mean that nobody's checking for him. I'm just saying the way that he's aligned himself. We said this earlier. Derek Minor has always been the more edgy one. He's always been the one that's going to give you like raw stuff from the streets. He went and released a project. I can't remember what it's called, but he had a record on there with Petty, one of the ones that we know really was in there like that. You know what I'm saying? It gave us raw street records from back in the day. So those are the people that he always was drawn to, the people like a Thizzle. He was always drawn to those type of people. And so I don't think it's fair that they have to do that. If you were along the journey, if you were a true fan, back to us, if you are a true person that really walked with us, when we started kind of getting to the point of being as free as we are now. I shouldn't have to say anything. If you were true and you were a fan and you followed my journey, you would have already known, hey, I still like what they do, but they've kind of went a more mature route and, let it go. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll listen to it when I'm by myself. Why do I have to take the extra step? Whatever, it ain't that much, but why do I have to do that? Because if you were truly a person who liked me and truly a person who listened to what I said, you knew that this was already the way that we were going. Yeah. So,
well, the thing about it,
Gil's Arena doesn't have to put a disclaimer. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these podcasts a lot of these 520, do 520 put a disclaimer?
Nah, because
you know what I'm saying?
I think it's more so kind of like if you compare barbershop talk to like church talk, because people are watching this and they're thinking like, is this going to be Christian related? This is a Christian artist known for making gospel records in certain people's eyes, So I feel like they're watching it with the expectation of like, this is going to be clean conversation. That's almost asking the same thing with Crazy Deep in podcast. Just because certain language isn't being used doesn't mean that the conversation isn't still considered edgy, So I just are we talking conversation topic wise, or are we talking about language?
Touch on everything when you listen to their podcast. They touch on everything, and I'm not sure that there's if you were paying attention, if you were just paying attention, like I was worried when I first saw that they were getting into a podcast together. I was like, damn, I know Parris for real. And I don't know what which Parris we're about to get on the podcast. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like all of these Christian rappers, I ain't just going to point it to Parris, but all of these Christian rappers, like I know these people in real life. Like, which version are we going to get of them? And I'm the type, I'll turn you off if I'm not getting the version that I see in real life. Which is the reason why we are the way that we are. Because I know those people. Like, if I'm not getting the real, bro, because I know what the real is, bro, and you fake right now, and I didn't see you as a fake person. So I didn't know, but when I started seeing little clips here and there, I was like, oh, they the same niggas. Bet. Shouts out to Derek Minor, who just hit us in the DM. Love Derek Minor. It's always been love with some encouraging words. Thanks, Derek Minor, because you are a real nigga. And you are somebody we've always rocked with because of your truth and how raw that you are.
Straight up.
You know when
we was going to concerts and he didn't know who the hell we were in the crowd, like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that type.
Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? He's always been one to rock with us. I wish that we could actually get an interview where the audio ain't messed up, but you know, it is what it is, bro. We just struck out like 3 times with Derek Minor, but he's always been one. Even in those moments, he supported us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it just, like I said, I think that's the best move for it. I don't think it's fair that Christian hip hop in general makes people do that. Why can't we grow in public and just move? I don't think Craze ever had to do that. I think, not unless you want to count some of the videos he made. You know, I remember when he was releasing Church Clothes 1, and he was like, hey, I just want to let everybody know that this record is not for the church, that this album is not for the church at all. Even though the whole album was riddled with a Christian message. But he was like, hey, this album ain't for the church. And he was kind of giving that heads up. But, you know, I like it when people could, if it was a sudden switch, maybe. You know, if you just one day popped up and started cussing, okay, yes, put that disclaimer out at that point. But you shouldn't have to have the disclaimer up for every episode, every show, everything. Derek Minor's been doing this type of music or being this type of person for years now. Parris Chariz has been this type of nigga for years now. So why did you think that you were going to get anything else out of that podcast?
Yeah.
Why? I mean, seriously, Magic and Birds podcast. Them niggas is trolling people on that podcast. Did you think you were going to get anything else? For real? Like, when you think about the music they made together, come on, bro. So miss me with that. I just don't agree with that.
Gotta grow with the artist.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to grow with the artist.
You gotta grow with the artist.
That's when people start that, we want the old Derek Minor back. We want the, and that's when they be like, go listen to that.
They might have asked for the old Derek Minor back for like a good solid 2 years, and then they was good because he was not playing when it came to to a lot of that, man. You know, we've had to deal with it too, but you know, I like staying true to who we are because you're not making me feel guilty. Sorry. I know the journey that I'm on. I know who I'm trying to reach. I know what I'm trying to do, and you ain't gonna get in the way of that. So it is what it is, man. But I appreciate everybody for joining us tonight, man. That is a wrap on the Hip Hop Corner, man. If we didn't get to your topic today, make sure y'all put them in the comments, and we'll try to tackle that topic next week, man. But you already know who it is, what it is, and what we do. That is Chris. That is Day. And wait a minute. That is Chris. Is it like that? Hold on. How there? That's Chris. Right? and that's Day. There we go. That's Chris, and that's Day. And we are out of here. Yes. That's it.